Today I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of a conversation here, and I'm kind of trying out this new microphone that I have here. I got a lapel microphone that hopefully will get a little bit better audio for filming on this phone. But for a little while now, I'd say pretty much for most of the time that I have been doing video, I've kind of felt, what would be the word? I don't know, not totally stressed, but I don't know, sometimes frustrated, sometimes stressed, sometimes overwhelmed on how to do what I'm supposed to be, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. I know in the first videos that we did on this channel, I kind of told the story of how the whole video production for me came about, how God gave me the vision for it in the way that I understood it at the time. Going through the videos that we've made, God has adjusted my thinking and brought more clarity into what I was supposed to do, which, you may feel like that in whatever God has called you to do, that it's kind of this learning process that we can be going through and trying to figure out, what is it and what does it look like in what God wants me to do with my life. So I know one of the big things is telling the story of God in my life, in our family's life. That has been the main thing that I believe that God is wanting me to do, and the story that God wants me to tell. Yet, the kind of video production I like, which I've done a lot of, and I've kind of learned and grown to do in my video production, are these fast-paced, kind of quick edits and not a whole lot of talking, trying to keep it down to like 15 seconds or less of talking, and a lot of music and montages and all that. And in that kind of video, you can't really go very deep in any kind of a conversation type of thing about God. It's been kind of a frustrating thing for me, trying to figure out how I'm to do these videos in kind of a conversation. I don't want to come at it like I'm preaching at people or I'm like a know-it-all. I'm not. None of us are. We're going to continually be learning from God, because God knows everything. We don't. So there's always something else and something more that we can be learning from God. And no matter what our ministry is, the majority of people may not be called into doing this as their life, quote, ministry. Could be something else, but there could be some people that it does have to do with video. In my case, when God led me to do this, I didn't really know anything about video, which again, I told that story in the first videos we put on this channel. So, I'm just praying about it and trying to figure this out, how to combine these things. And then it kind of came to me that, well, maybe there isn't just one type of video that I'm going to be doing in this, that there might be some of these videos that I think are cool looking, the fast-paced music montage and all that kind of thing, but then there may just be it was coming to me kind of like a conversation, which kind of also brought me back to thinking about the Ten Talk videos that I did for a while, which I looked back on that and I just was shocked. I can't even believe that it's been 3 years since I started those things. And it's been quite a while since I've done any, but I was kind of feeling led back into kind of something similar to that. And it may not be limited to 10 minutes, because there were some subjects that I talked on that I was like trying to edit it down and trying to get it down within that 10-minute time, but they were just subjects that needed more time. you know, and when you're having conversations and things like that, there are conversations that might go longer than other conversations, and I don't want to put a limit on that, and I definitely don't want to just have it like this mic drop, quippy quote thing that you throw out there. You know, I one of the things that I like a lot, that I like doing a lot, is talking about God, which brings me back. It reminds me of this job I had where myself and this other lady worked in this one area toward the end of the day, inspecting these things, and she was a Christian too, and so we talked a lot about God. And one time, this other guy that worked in that area sometimes came over, and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys into outside of work? And what do you like talking about?" And we both said we like talking to God, and he's kind of like looked at us weird, like that was kind of shocking that, you know, we really like talking about God. And I do. That's like one of my favorite things to talk about. So I was kind of feeling led, and I kind of watched some videos on YouTube. This video kept showing up in my feed, and so I decided to watch it, and kind of gave me some ideas, and I felt like God was kind of leading me in this way. And so one time in prayer, I decided, you know what, I'm going to sit down here while I'm praying to God, talking to God, and I'm going to take some notes here. I'm going to try to figure out this plan, figure out how I'm supposed to, you know, and again, from the beginning, like I talked about in the first videos on this channel, that I don't want to be coming up with something on my own that I feel like doing. I want to be able to be doing what God wants me to do, because I know that's going to be the best thing to do, as opposed to something that I feel like doing. This is kind of the thing that I feel like there are different types of videos that I might do. That there are these conversations about God videos, and then there's some videos that, you know, like our adventures, you know, that's part of what I felt like God was leading me to do, is film adventures, going out exploring His creation, showing off the beauty of His creation, because in His Word He tells us that all people are without an excuse, because He's given us a reason to believe, and He's shown us evidence and proof that He's real by what He's created. So that was part of what I felt like the leading was in that, but also a big part of it was sharing our life as we're living for God. The stories of us seeking to live our lives for God, living our lives with God. So I feel like this type of video here that I'm starting right now, and I'm testing this out, you know, part of it, you know, I didn't know that I was going to do a whole video on this one. I just kind of wanted to test out and see what this microphone sounded like in a car, see if it would pick up my voice more and the car noise less. This is kind of how I wanted to start it out, you know, just kind of talking about it. It'd be interesting to hear from anybody else that is kind of feeling a little bit frustrated and trying to figure out what God would exactly. I got to get over really quick here, man. I'm going to miss my turn off here. I'm getting caught up in talking here, but if anybody else has, you know, that kind of feeling like they're wanting to do what God wants them to do, but they're not totally dialed into how that looks or what that is at this point. And I would just say, you know, get in a meeting with God in prayer time. Get in a meeting with Him and help Him to map out that plan, and take notes, write it down. Anyway, so that's kind of the thing that I'm looking to do in a lot of videos, is talk more about the stories of things God's teaching us, things, looking at issues and things in life through the lens of the Bible. And I guess, you know, this was just a test for a microphone, but I guess this may be the first video here, and I'm looking at it, it's like just over 10 minutes, so it's pretty close to a 10 talk anyway. I plan and hope to be doing more of these kind of things and just having a conversation. And unlike TV, where, you know, somebody just preaching at you, you're hearing somebody say things to you, That's the beauty of YouTube, is that people can comment and give their thoughts and what they're experiencing on a certain subject too, and there can be conversations, more of a conversation. Like, the big thing I'm thinking about, Jesus and his disciples, they sat at the table with him. He was teaching them, but they were able to converse with him, ask questions, and try to understand what he's talking about. But anyway, that's what I think is kind of cool, is just having conversations about God, and that's kind of what these videos are about. Sort of in line with the old 10 Talk videos I felt I was led to do in the past. So I guess this is number 1. It was a mic check, but I guess this is video number 1. Talk to you, converse with you on the next one. See you soon.